On a Halloween ghost today since we're heading up to Halloween, and a lot of people like ghosts and things like that, So, I mean, the ghost thing comes, I mean, it just has ties of the things that a lot of people just don't want to talk about, which is kind of, what? Pete Hegseth fires the U.S. Navy Chief of Staff. Wait a minute. Chief of Staff, John somebody or another. Is it for being too fat? John Harrison. Oh, he fired John Harrison. I wonder if it's for being too fat. Okay, let me get my ghost up here. Okay. Okay, I got my ghost up here. And so, I don't think I'm going to need, let me get started here. I don't think I'm going to need my lead pencil for... I'm thinking maybe what I want to do... Okay, let me just get started, because my mouth is telling me what I want to draw, and then... Okay. And then I can work through the rest of it a little bit later. So we've got this little part here. I'm going to just shade a little bit like that. So I'm putting, if I had Photoshop, this would be a combination of a blur and a stroke. A stroke, I think, was more of a straight line. And so I've got the blur in here. So I'm going to do, let's see here. Purple, where are you, Purple? My friend Purple. My friend Purple, where are you? My friend. Everybody says that on the internet. My friend, my friend, my friend. And so now we've got people from places that, my friend, my friend. This is what I need, my friend, my friend. It's like, no, no, no. Okay, what are you doing? Okay, so we're making this. Okay, so I've got that right here like this. So I'm just doing a little bit of a blur here. And so I'm going to take, and I'm going to take this down like this. And I'm just kind of making a robe is what I'm doing, like that. And we've got some colors in here is what we're making. Okay, and so this side I'm going to kind of take... Now I know I'm going to have a hard time erasing, so if I make a mistake, I am dedicated to the mistake right now. Because of the fact that that colored pencils are very hard to erase. Okay, so I got that right there. I kind of want to, what do I want to take it on down like this? Yeah, that looks pretty good. And so I'm going to take some of this down like this. Yeah, I like that. That looks pretty good there. Anyone have any questions or anything? Yes, I know that I'm getting views through the YouTube Shorts feed. That's where everybody's coming up. And if anyone's paying attention, they said all the protesting that's taking place is simply just YouTube live streamers. They said that's all it is right now, is YouTube live streamers. So they're actually showing live streamers to live streamers right now. That's what I heard last night. And so... then that calls into question is like, well, what kind of protesting is taking place? It's like, I'm not even there. I'm just periodically watching something on a live stream from time to time. And, and then other people expect me to watch them. And then they're belligerent. They're very belligerent. A lot of them are very belligerent, and they only want to get monetized, and so they think that I'm going to, it's like, yeah, I've said it works both ways here, doesn't it? You know what Larry Page said, the back rub? I would sit and watch Larry Page and Google all day long. If Larry Page came back on, I'll tell you, I'll watch Larry Page first, and the Google Web Spam team and what they talked about. Google had some fun stuff back in the day. And so Google was very supportive of us related to being content creators. And I would watch the police too. I do watch a lot of police videos. Um, so now I watched this guy last night. He was in Portland and he was doing protesting. He said it got boring for him, and then he was showing himself sleeping. That's what he was doing. And so, but he did admit, he said there wasn't a lot going on and he himself got kind of bored. I can't remember his name though. Um, I should look up and see who he is. He seems like a really nice fella. He said he's not familiar with a lot of things, and he's listening to what we have to say to him. He looks like a younger fella, and so he's doing some things that have been exposed to him, and he's out at the protesting places. He's said that he's just reporting as a journalist, and so he's there. And so he came up to me, and there's another guy too. Oh, the guy who does Revelations. He's funny. He's actually funny. He said Revelations for a year is what he is doing. And I'm like, I can get on board with that. I can get on board with Revelations, the book of Revelations for a year. You know, and, coming up with some Bible phrases or something, related to religious things. I mean, because religion, I'm not going to throw it completely out with there's no reason to just throw it completely out, because I think religion is important in the sense of it's a part of history, and how society and humanity got to where we are now from where we came from. So it's religion is really an adult topic of conversation. That's what I think. And I believe that religion is above the head of children. And so the thing I'm thinking is, like, in the name of religion and Jesus Christ and all this stuff, people will carry on and say that religion is good for kids, the internet is bad, but yet religion has what we call, do you guys see the repetition in religion? My goodness, the repetition. If you had something that was considered ad nauseum, don't you think that religion is ad nauseum? Religion is a huge, huge ad nauseum. I hear the politicians say that all the time. I like that word. It is. It's ad nauseum. Now, yes, there's things on the internet that take place that are ad nauseum. And so I was listening to this young man, and I think they were just poking a little fun at him because he said something about getting paid, or he said he gets tired of the ads on YouTube, on Google. Hello, Farzan Calhoun. Hello. I see you, Faison Calhoun. And so the young man I was watching last night, they were kind of poking a little fun at him because he said he doesn't like all the advertising on Google. And I was just thinking, what advertising? Because I hardly get any. I hardly get any advertising at all anymore. I'm not monetized, and so Google doesn't show me much for ads at all. In fact, so many channels are not monetized that I'm watching, Google will try to slip in an ad every once in a while, and they said that they will. So what I get is some type of advertising in between videos that I'm watching, because the videos that I'm watching, so that's the only way that Google has to make their money. Okay. Okay. And so that's the only way that Google has to make their money is through advertising. So it would be the same principle as a bank. And so it's like, okay, so Where do banks get their money from? They get their money from people depositing money into a bank account. Now, if the majority, you know what? This is a revelation right here. And this is a revelation for the young man who's doing revelations for a year, because we can take revelations outside of the Bible too. So now if the majority of people don't have money to put in the bank, you know what happens to banks? They go out of business, don't they? Same thing with cryptocurrency. They go out of business. So if the majority of people are free from everything, they're free from money, free from banks, you know what? Banks go out of business. Now, how are the banks going to advertise to you ad nauseum? Put your money here, put your money there, put your money here, put your money there. Ad nauseum. Bleh. How are you going to do that when people don't have any money? That's what I'd like to know. And so I'm kind of cautious when it comes down to, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm kind of cautious when it comes down to, say, because it never sat well with me when people would say, they don't want to see advertising. And I'm just thinking, okay, I don't want to see bank advertising either then. I'm not monetized. I'm not bringing in any money. I don't want to see banks. I don't want to see brokerage companies. I don't want to hear about crypto at all. I don't want to hear about any of that, But I do, unfortunately, I have to hear about it ad nauseum, because you know what they do? They send people on the internet. They send people on the internet to talk about it ad nauseum. But I'm going to stop right now because I'm not paid, But but I can tell you who it's coming out of: the sports industrial complex. It's coming out of the sports industrial complex. They're doing it. It's those sportsmen who come out of Florida. It's a big Florida circle jerk is what's going on right now. So I'm just explaining things how I see it. And I've come across one guy, oh my gosh, he is obnoxious. I'm not sure where he's from, maybe New York City or somewhere. He won't, or California possibly. I am so tired of him. Oh my God, he makes me just nauseous. He sounds like he is an illegal migrant. And he's one of these people who pretends that he cares about people coming into his live stream, is what's happening. And so what he will do is I will write something, and then he has his moderator chime in with, "Oh, you need to just move on," which I think he's the moderator and that he's using another account, because you can do that. You can actually be your own moderator on your own account. If you have another YouTube channel, you can do that. And I think it's him actually doing it. And because I can tell by the way he talks, he has more than one YouTube channel too, because I recognize his voice. And I mean, he just makes me nauseous to no end, where he's like, "Oh, I offered her a place to, and care that I cared about her." Well, what he's doing is being antagonistic with what he's doing. And he's only doing it for watch time hours to get monetized. So can I see your face if you don't mind? No, I'm not going to show you my face, Faison Calhoun, because it's people like him. You guys are always asking the same thing. You want to see my face. I have showed my face, and I'm not interested in being doxxed again by the police, because that's the kind of shitty ass fucktards they are, who, which I guess it's Hollywood and the banking industry, and they call the police on people because the internet is direct competition to the old way of doing things. And so they call the police on YouTube content creators as intimidation. And so I would think that would be a crime. Don't you guys think so? I mean, because if they're going to use intimidation, now the government is actually saying that is happening, that has happened to politicians. I'm not a politician, but why would I want to show my face again? I've already done that, been down that road, been there, done that, and it created a lot of fucking problems. And, because the old way, when you talk about bad practices coming out of the legacy media industry. Then they want to say, oh, and Disney. Yeah, Disney has their way of doing bullshit too. And I wouldn't be as surprised that a lot of the stuff that I was met with came out of Disney. I really think that in hindsight right now, I think a lot of it came out of Disney, because they were threatened. And I think that when the government, with the campaign that took place, I really think that the government knew where it was coming out of. And so they just used that to actually get the current president elected, because they knew that the rhetoric was coming out of DEI and Disney. And it's like, okay, well, they showed us that right there with what was going on. And because they just stop at no. And see, legacy media is always blaming the government. Now, the thing I've said today that I had this revelation. I asked the question, who is your political party? Is it Fox News? Is it ABC? Is that your political party? Is NBC your political party? Is CBS your political party? Can you guys tell me? Because they are the ones who are putting all this crap up. Who's your political party? Fox News. That's who got the president elected, because back in the day, you know what? Back in the day, he was on The Simpsons. And so it was Fox News who actually got the current president elected as president, because they all pretend. They think that America is stupid. And that's what Donald Trump said himself. He said stupid people are going to vote for him. You know what? If you want stupid people, we can lower our IQ more if you would like. Because you know what? I think the stupid content is fun. And I really have a lot of fun making brain rot, especially related to the president. I mean, for me, it's not anything that's intended to be, too over the top. But, people do get upset when I make it. Now, some of my tools that I've had has been taken away related to making some of the presidential brain rot stuff. I really like making the presidential brain rot stuff because it's so appropriate for him. I mean, that's all he does is United States brain rot based off of Fox News. Fox News is a political party of brain rot. That's what it is. And then they blame the government for doing it. Now, granted, the government, there is a lot of problems within the government because of the fact that they are allowing inflation to take place, and they don't have any plans or anything on how that's going to get fixed. But I know I'm tired of YouTubers who are just so disingenuous, especially these men, of like, oh, you just need to move on from the physical violence. It's like, you know what? You saying that tells me that you're probably a physically violent man who has beat up on a woman before in the past, and you're disingenuous. And, it's like, I just need to remember that in the future when I come across that type of voice and that man. I just need to move on from him, because he is, he sounds like a Mexican guy, kind of. And someone from California, and I think he's been on camera before. He's got like kind of grayish hair that's sort of parted in the middle, and he wears glasses, and he just sounds so disingenuous. When I saw him on his face on camera, him pretending that he cares, it's like, well, what the hell is he going to talk about once he gets monetized? Is he just going to try and rage bait people? Because that's what he's doing. He's rage baiting people on his channel. And now, if I wanted to, you know what? Maybe I should show you guys. Do you want to see how it's done? I'm going to go get another channel. Let me see if I can do this. I'm going to come in here. Let me see if I can do this. I think I can. I'm going to go get another channel. I'm going to go move to another channel, and I'm going to show you how I am the content creator and the moderator at the same time. I think some of you might like my, you might like the channel. I know the algorithm loves it. You might like my channel that I pop on here as. Okay. Channel that I Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we need to pause you. Okay. 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 Can I be a moderator? Let's see if this works. Let's see if this works. Hello, Kim E Unplugged. Moderate or can I be a moderator? Let's see who comes up. Oh, can you be a moderator? Oh, sure, Trumpala. Let's make. Okay, let's see if we can make you a moderator, Trumpala. Can I be a moderator? Add as a moderator. No, we don't want you managing anything because you're actually me. But yes, let's make you a moderator. Okay, you're a moderator now. Okay. Okay, Trumpala, you're a moderator now. Oh, okay. Let's make a fictitious. I know you guys. Let's make a fictitious person in here because I don't have any problems with anyone in here. But wait, this is what we're gonna do. Stop being a jerk. A jerk. My R is not working very well. A jerk there. The symbolo or you will get MODERATED. Okay. Stop being a jerk there, Simlo, or you will get moderated. Okay, do you guys see how it works? Do you see what they're doing? Okay, because I can do this myself. So Trumpala is me. So you guys know, in all fairness and transparency, I just wanted to share this with you. So these men in the live streams who are being antagonistic to people, and they have a moderator. Sometimes they do have two moderators on their channel. It's other people that come in, and so they're part of the networks, or they've networked up with someone else, and so they're just being antagonistic. So, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have Trumpala here remove itself from being a moderator. Oh no, I didn't want to retract the message. I wanted Trumpala to actually remove itself from being a moderator. Oh, Trumpala, you retracted your own message. Which, let's see if I can fix this. Okay, so we're trying to okay, so okay, yeah, so Trumpala, what are we gonna remove? Oh, Trumpala, you removed your own message. Why are you retracting your own messages? Can you tell me that, Trumpala? Why are you retracting your own messages? This has been going on for a long time. And so I just wanted to show you guys how people are doing this. So you're fighting your own battle is what you're doing when you have another YouTube channel, which you can have as many channels as you want to, but you can have a guy who's sitting in there and, but I think some of them, they do have their buddies in there with them. And so what they do is they cover for the other guy, and that's how big of cowards they are, is that they have men who are ganging up on women in this way on the internet. And it's like, oh, well, you're just a liberal lefty. And so then they want people to, what they want is people writing on their channel and then being engaged on their channel, and they're using antagonistic methods and gaslighting and pretending, so they're like, oh, I offered you my friendship. It's like, no, you're a phony, and you're just using the same thing that legacy media uses. You sound like you're out of legacy media. And it's like, that's the stuff I hate. I hate it with a passion. And so I have things that I do for them because I've told them, I said, look, there's millions of other YouTubers that I can be in contact with, that I can chat with, who are actually like myself and who don't like the crap that you guys are doing. And then they've taken on the stance that they are neutral too, which I think is funny because they're not neutral. You can tell that they have an axe to grind for, I don't know what it is, but they are mad about something. They are excruciatingly mad. So if you guys wanted to see how this is done, I showed you how it's done, and I'm willing to show you how it's done again. I don't have hundreds of channels like people think. I only have 12 right now, which I don't need 12 channels. I don't know why I need 12 channels. I just have them because I was this is the reason what I was doing. I was coming up with different names of, it's like, well, is this going to be, well, YouTube has changed the algorithm. So I created channels to see if things were going to work. It's like, okay, so Trump itself, people don't want to talk about that anymore. They've said that. They're saying that they have Trump fatigue on Reddit. So I created the Trumpala channel kind of as a meme, as a joke thing. And it has some joke stuff on there. But my philosophy is with creating one topic only, such as Trump and a president. It's like, I mean, in less than 3 years, he's no longer going to be president. People are burned out on him right now. He's just going to go away. Nobody wants to watch him. And people are tired. I can't tell you. I think people were tired of him when the election came around. People were tired of it the first time, after the first time. And so, I mean, so basically Fox News right now, they're sitting there gloating. That's what they're doing, is gloating on their channel. It's like, oh, we won, we won, we won. And we have a right to be able to do back to them what they did to us. So that's what they're doing with the Democrat, Republican, left, right, red, blue. So they got their little buzzwords. They got their little buzzwords that they use all the time. That's what they're bringing onto the internet, is their little buzzwords that they use. And then they want everybody, but they have a tendency also to blame other countries for things that they're not doing. And I'm not completely convinced that other countries are totally, it's like, the biggest pushback I get is on the internet when I say something about that the government's not doing it. I get pushback from people that's, oh, the government is doing it. It's like, okay, well, if it's classified, how do you know? How would you know that the government is doing it? So maybe the government has some tools that they use, but prove to me, how in the world do you know? You're some idiot on TV. How do you know that the government is doing it? Prove it to me. Prove it to me. So what we've been getting on the internet for the past decade or more is to not believe anything. It's like, okay, why should I believe anything that any advertiser says? Because it's not true. Lysol, in fact, bless their heart. I like Lysol, but they're putting less product inside of their cans. And during COVID, Lysol changed to say that that they could kill the COVID virus, the monkeypox, the pandemic. That's what everybody's calling it, is the pandemic. And I've been hearing that for several years. That's what they called it, the pandemic. And so Lysol, I used to kind of think that Lysol killed the flu, but I used to slightly think that because my whole life it smelled good. Lysol smells good. I think some of us can agree on that Lysol smells good, and I like Lysol myself. I've thought it was a good product, but $5 for a can is kind of expensive right now, especially for us low-life senior citizens who are deadbeats to this economy. My gosh, so we've got Wall Street on the internet right now, and these food jocks and these nutritional supplement jocks who are telling us to go get a job. And that's what I think this guy, I looked him up to see if I could find out who he was, because I was going to bust him out. I think he has something about Eagle in his name, something Eagle. And he just thinks he's a patriot. That's what he kind of identifies with, as a patriot to the United States and fighting for rights. And he seems more of a what do I want to call him? He's a nut job wing to the far left or right of some sort, and I think he's a nut job alien wing is what he is. And yeah, that's a good word, nut job alien wing, because I can hear him that he has a slight Mexican accent. And so I think he's out of Texas, maybe somewhere, and he's one of these nut job illegals in the United States who's pissed off because nobody wants to go to bat for them anymore. I mean, nobody ever really did. People would a little bit. It's like, yeah, if you need an ambulance or something, I'll pick up the phone and call 911 for you, but I don't have nothing else for you, and I don't plan on nothing else for you. I'm going to call up my politician and say, get the fuck out of the country. I don't want him in the country anymore, because it's like, why should they get benefits that we don't get? And that's an issue I've raised. If we were to go to universal health care, if the United States goes to universal health care, why should every illegal alien from Mexico be able to come across the border if the United States goes to universal health care? And why should the taxpayers, why should we have to fund that? And then what we're funding then is illegals crossing the border to have their babies in the United States for free, which they already do that from time to time. They get a birth certificate, their baby is then an American citizen, and then we're paying for them for free, and we're paying for Mexico. And then it's like, well, if that's the case, then the United States should just take over Mexico as another state. Don't you guys think the United States should just take over Mexico as another state? If Mexico wants to be part of the United States that bad, then they can work for Donald Trump. You know what? Come to think of it, maybe that's not a bad idea, because you know what? The because the truth of the matter is, if Mexico was made a 51st state of the United States, then all the Mexicans are legal. They want the same pay as everybody else. They don't want to be working for peanuts. Maybe that's not a bad idea, because the Mexicans and the people they've accused of being lefties, and the ones being human trafficked, they don't want that crap either. They don't want to be human trafficked and left behind. They want to make the same pay, and you know what? That's more, they would probably be voting more conservative when it goes around that direction, because of the fact that now, if they voted for the lefties, that means you're running out of money. You're not actually, because the same problems are still going to exist. With the left side is actually inflating the economy. So that's liberal. That's a liberal output of money. Conservative is retracting and pulling back on the money and trying to spend less. I mean, that's not working though either. The corporations are causing problems. The money's sitting somewhere. We don't know where it's at, but there's money sitting somewhere. Someone is collecting a lot of American money. It's just sitting, I don't know where. But yeah, maybe Mexico becoming a 51st state wouldn't be a bad idea. I know he tried that with Canada, and Canada said no way. They didn't want to be a state of the United States, but maybe Mexico being a state of the United States wouldn't be too bad of an idea. And, because the thing is, the Mexicans already know that they're paid shit. But if they become even like Puerto Rico and Cuba and places like that, where they sneak into the United States or they go to the islands and get jobs, they know they're paid shit. It's just like American citizens are paid shit, so the inflation thing is not going to work. But if they retracted on, bringing prices down, then there would be more money to go around, and people would be paid more equitably, and then people would be able to afford to live someplace, and then it wouldn't hurt other countries that are supposed to be our partner countries. But I don't know, I don't foresee the Mexicans actually voting the way that Fox News thinks that they're going to vote. Because those people are, including Pete Hegseth, making $20 million a year. Now, why in the world would Pete Hegseth, he was making $20 million a year being a news anchor on Fox News, why would he take a job and go back into the government? That's what I'm wondering about. Why would he do that? He was on Fox News making $20 million a year, and then he just goes back on into the government as a government leader. Why would he do that? Does he love his country that much to give up that much money? I have to say I might find that hard my own self. I mean, and then was Shepard Smith actually in the military? That's what I'm wondering. Was Shepard Smith? I mean, we haven't heard from him in a long time. I don't know what happened to Shepard Smith from Fox News. Where he is. Does anyone know? Does anyone know what happened to Shepard Smith? I want to know what happened to Shepard Smith. I mean, I thought he was a nice looking guy. But he had a really weird plastic looking face. I always thought Shepard Smith had a plasticky looking face. Didn't you guys think so? I mean, maybe they said Fox News has been using AI for a very long time. That's what I keep hearing now. So it has me thinking that Fox News, none of the people on their TV show is real. They're all artificial intelligence. They said Fox News and MSDNC are using AI, and they're using AI, as my understanding, in their news broadcasts as their people. So they're not even showing their real faces. Fox News is not showing their real faces on there. So why should I show my real face? I have showed it and it's caused problems for me before, and I don't want to go through that again. I really don't. It's not worth it, So you disenfranchised me from showing my face. It's like, then, you favored things in the favor of my ex-husband who was physically violent to me. That's what you did. So whoever called the police on me, you favored things in the favor of my ex-husband. That's what you solved. So I don't know if it was an adult who did it or if it was a kid who did it. I have no idea. Or the other thing is, like the police officer told me, he said the Home Association was calling the police because of the fact they didn't like what I was saying on the internet. That's what was going on. So the Home Association was calling the police on me because they didn't like what I was saying. So they didn't agree. That's why I was kind of glad to actually hear that the government very well might be involved with YouTube and the internet now because of the home associations doing this, which means that the home associations are banking institutions. That means someone from the banking institution is grudge fucking internet people. So if you live in a home association community, the banking institutions are never going to like you talking bad about home associations. It's like, well, now I'm nowhere near a home association, and I'm still going to talk bad about them because I think they're shit. Most people do. Most people don't like home associations because their sole motivation is actually making money for a CEO, and they're causing inflation. When they just raise prices. And that's why I think that Donald Trump being president right now, reflecting real estate and a businessman, I think that's rather, I don't know that it's poetic justice, but it's showing his failures. It's showing his failures over and over and over again. It's showing the failures of Wall Street over and over and over again. And I've asked this question, can people loan out Bitcoin? We were having a talk with the guy last night. Now, we're acquaintances. He's probably a young guy I would actually talk to in real life. Just as a friend and as an acquaintance. If he wasn't too embarrassed to talk to me in real life, he might be. But he seems genuine with his conversation, and I can tell genuine versus disingenuous who are old ass people my age. So, but he really does seem genuine in listening to things that we have to say, because he says he doesn't have any experience with Bitcoin. And the things we were talking about together is, I started thinking, I've said this for a long time, because there's people who talk about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and what they say is they're like, oh, everything's going to change over to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Actually, no, well, it was cryptocurrency at one time. Now it's Bitcoin. They're saying everything is going to change over to that, and it's like, well, yeah, but you've got all these names, Ethereum, all these different names. It's like, to me right now, it's just a name change. So you're taking money of something that is not backed by the United States government. It's deregulated. It's decentralized is the word that I'm thinking of. Decentralized. And so, but what I've said is that, can someone take that money and actually loan it out? So the young man last night, he said nobody knows. I think it was him, or was it someone in the comments? They said that no one knows who owns it. They said owns someone owns Bitcoin. They're not talking about the stable currency. I don't know what stable currency is. I call the American dollar a stable currency. But they're saying that nobody knows who owns Bitcoin. Don't you guys think that's scary? That you don't know, you're putting all this money in. Now, the thing that I see is that, and I've asked the question, like other people have asked, can you trade in and out of Bitcoin? Well, what they're saying is that you buy into it and you just sit on it and then it goes up. Well, I mean, that sounds a little bit like Berkshire Hathaway to me. Berkshire Hathaway, it just seems to go up. I mean, but you can trade into that, and it is backed by the United States government. But it's, what is it, like Berkshire Hathaway, I think, is like $250,000 a share, and most normal people can't afford to actually even be able to afford to buy that. I mean, that is a lot of money. If you bought into, I think Berkshire Hathaway is like a mutual fund of some sort or something like that. It's a basket of stocks, and that's what they always said. If you have more than 5 stocks, then you become a mutual fund your own self. So if you're trading in the stock market. Hello, Jenny for Hello Kitty. Hello, Jenny. I hope you came back. Yes, you sure did. You came back. Hello. I'm a little bit slow seeing you here. I'm drawing and I'm yapping and gabbing at the same time here. So I'm drawing a kind of a ghost here that's got snakes coming out from its neck. That's what I'm drawing here. Yeah, that's what I'm drawing here. And so I just thought I'd do some Halloween themed things. I'm gonna try to draw some. I actually asked Gemini to make a picture for me, and this is kind of similar to what Gemini did. I asked Gemini to make it with the snakes coming out of the head. Well, it did at the head down here. It didn't do it up here. It did. Now, Gemini does not listen very well sometimes. So when I'm dealing with Gemini, it's kind of like dealing with a little child at times. I asked Gemini yesterday to draw me a pencil that's a stylus that has an eraser on it, and I wanted the eraser to be going like this on a toddler's hand, trying to erase something on the tablet, and it wouldn't do that. So it made the eraser at the tip of the pencil, and so it never actually. I mean, it did actually make one, but then I had a pencil that had an eraser at both ends. That's what it made, was one that had an eraser at both ends. And so I just thought, okay, Gemini, you're not listening very well. That's what I ended up with. And so yeah, so what they're saying, though, is that with the protesting that's going on right now, they said it's just YouTube live streamers that are out there, that nobody else is out there. They said legacy media is not following the coverage anymore, it sounds like. For some reason, they've bailed out. Now, I did hear a woman yesterday, and that's what she said. She was someone from Legacy Media, and she's like, I can't do this. She says, I can't do this anymore. She says, I'm out of here. So she tapped out of whatever it was that they were doing. And now the other people, they're recording. There's not a whole lot going on. The feds come out. They said that they are getting pepper sprayed. I'm not there. I don't know. I have to take their word for it. But they said they are getting pepper sprayed. And so it seems like an event that is being covered strongly by YouTubers right now. And they have a woman they're calling Karen who's yelling really, really loud all the time. I'm not there. I'm just watching what they have on YouTube. And so one guy said that a lot of them who are using footage that from other protests, and so they said they're not even at protests right now. A lot of them aren't. And so they're at places where protests are not even taking place, so they're not even covering them live. And so it's basically like they're lying about the protests going on. So we don't even really know where protests are going on. So so I don't know. And then there was people, it's like, well, no one here is talking about Charlie Kirk. And that's what they were saying in the chat. No one's talking about Charlie Kirk. And so there's always someone that's like, well, wait a minute, you just did. You just talked about Charlie Kirk. And the same thing is like, what about Jeffrey Epstein? And then they come in and they're like, what about Jeffrey Epstein? Everybody, it's like, well, you wanted to know. It's like, okay, that's something that you thought we should know about. That's not something any of the rest of us wanted to know about. You told us you thought we should know about it or that it should be important for some reason. The only thing that I said about, I did raise questions with Jeffrey Epstein's death, though. What I said was, okay, they showed a picture of Jeffrey Epstein. So he had like a bed. He didn't even have a bunk bed. He just had like a bed on the ground level. He was in a cement jail. How did he hang himself? That was the thing that I asked. Hello? Slave Eddie. Beautiful, superior white goddess. Love you. I miss you. Okay, Slave Eddie says he misses me. Eddie the slave says he misses me. Eddie the dragon slave slayer. Maybe that's what I should call you. Eddie the dragon slave slayer. What do you mean that you miss me? What do you miss me from? I mean, I have, I hate to say this, Eddie, and this isn't really against you, but when I see the word black, I kind of get PTSD strongly when I see the word black. And I know I shouldn't, because it's like, my gosh, I draw with a black ink pen and I drink black coffee. But yes, I have this PTSD trauma from the word black. And so it's not you, Eddie. Can you call me Black Slave Eddie? I respect you. If you would like to be called Black Slave Eddie, yes, I will call you Black Slave Eddie. It sounds so ridiculous, but I will call you Black Slave Eddie, since that's your YouTube channel, because I know that you picked that YouTube channel, and so Black Slave Eddie. This is how we collaborate on the internet, is by using words that help each other's channels. And so, yes, Black Slave Eddie, I will call you Black Slave Eddie. You're welcome. He says, thank you, beautiful, superior white goddess. You're welcome, Black Slave Eddie. This is just like the guy. There was a guy yesterday. He reminded me a little bit of Ron DeSantis, but he was a YouTube guy, and he's like, I've got 675,000 followers on my channel. And he said he was talking about a black woman who called herself a gorilla. He says, I find that so hard to believe. He says, but I'm going to go look that up. He says, you know what that means when a black person is implies that they're a gorilla. He says, I'm going to have to go look that up now, but there is. He says there's a black woman who is calling herself a gorilla now. And it kind of reminded me of the woman who did the Gorilla Glue thing. So it's almost like a lot of people think that black people can't have a sense of humor, which they do. I mean, I've seen that. I've seen that with people that I don't know. I know black folks have a sense of humor. But you know what? The thing I'm seeing is that there's a lot of people who think that us humans are stupid. It doesn't matter what race we are. I've even seen Mexicans have a sense of humor too. And even Indians, people from India, it doesn't matter what culture it is. I've seen them have a sense of humor. Foreign people who don't even speak English. Some of the stuff they're doing is funny. And I'm beginning to think that it's possible maybe some of the stuff from India, with them bouncing on the bed, is maybe done with humor on it. So Black Slave Eddie, hang on, Black Slave Eddie, I need to go over here and look at my channel. Did I go? Yeah, I did. Let me put this up here. Okay, so let's see what Black Slave Eddie has to say. He says, I respect white women, superior white goddess. I know my place as a black man. You're superior. I'm not superior. But Black Slave Eddie, you go right on ahead and and you have a right to say that and use that name. I think that's funny. That's cute. It's like I am tired. I am tired for you and me and everybody. When with Disney and all these people doing this race baiting stuff, I am so tired of it. I was tired of it back in the year 2020. I was tired of it then, and it was just getting stronger. And it's like, only white lives. That's not. I don't believe that. White lives don't just matter. I always said that all lives matter, but that's the direction. Oh my gosh, back in, what year was it? 2014 or so? Um, you know, that was a thing, because what I was hearing from my ex-husband, he was the one who was pushing the Black Lives Matter thing, but he wasn't he wasn't using the wording Black Lives Matter at that time. But he was pushing that towards me, which was what people called the Stockholm Syndrome, where you feel sorry for a captor who has you held hostage into something with what they're doing. And so that's what he was telling me all the time was, he was pushing the black jobs and everything like that. Black Slave Eddie says, I see myself as a black slave, beautiful. I will never look you in the eyes, queen. No, you will never look me in the eyes. You might be able to look me in the eyes, and we would never know that we're crossing paths. That it could be that kind of thing, possibly. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. But you know what else is going on too, Black Slave Eddie? There are people who they call themselves the black t-shirts. So there's a brigade of black t-shirts, and they are white people who are wearing black t-shirts as a representation of their blackness. Did you know that's going on? And I think that's going on related to black people wearing white t-shirts too, possibly. My head will always be down, superior white goddess. Oh, down as in humble in some way, or well, you know what? We were talking about this stuff. For a long time. I know I was, because I was getting bombarded with it in my marriage. And that was the thing that was hard for me, because I'm the one who has the token grandkids who are mixed, that are black, and I almost still feel, it's like the black thing, oh, she's got a black friend. Oh my gosh, no, she's a white lady who's got black grandkids. That's the demeaning side of things that even to this day that I still hear and run through my head. I feel almost ashamed to even say that I have grandkids that are black or mixed, or they're black and white, however we say it, because they don't fit in anywhere. So when they go to select a job application, when kids that are mixed go to select a job application, the government needs to hear this. They are forced to choose either black or white. And, that's just like anybody who's Hispanic or has a mix of, well, I know they took away Caucasian for white, and then they made us use white instead of Caucasian. So Caucasian is sort of a mix, I guess, between Asian and, I don't know what Cauc is, Caucasion. I don't know what the Cauc part is related to white with Caucasian or lighter skin. But that's all these labels are, is job application labeling for the purposes of a company getting money for a person based on their skin color. And isn't that discrimination for all of us? I think it is. I mean, because I've always said, well, okay, what would I wear? What would I wear if I went to a job application and I said I was Native Indigenous or Native Indian? Would I wear like a sombrero, or would I have to wear a Native Indian feathers and headdress to go to the job application? Is that what we all need to wear? No, they're not a daishiki. What the heck are those things called? There was a name that they had for them, and now I don't remember. I watched a little bit of it because they were doing these powwows up in Canada and stuff. They said they do them every year. I can't remember what they're called now. Can I be your black slave on your YouTube, please? Beautiful. Love you, Queen. If you want to be, what do you mean, like a black slave as in like sharing my content? If you want to do that, you can. If you want to do something like that, you can. I don't have anybody, as far as that goes, I don't need anybody on my channel because I'm just an individual person. I don't know what you mean by black slave. Is that working for free? Because I'm not getting paid to do anything. And I don't really have anything that I need done on my channel. I don't have a budget, because a black slave on my YouTube. Yeah. I mean, if you want to share, I'm trying to think where the direction of, if I was to make a piece of content about a black slave, it's like, it's not something that I want to do in the sense of let me ask you this. Yeah. Oh, it would be your honor to be my black slave on YouTube for free, Queen. Oh, thank you. I wanted to ask you this. Did you watch my P. Diddy video that I made? If you want to see something funny, yeah, you can do it for free if you want to. Absolutely. If you want to do it for free and if you want to help me become a viral sensation on the internet. But did you see, this one was funny. I called it the PD Fitty Funeral Music Ditty. And what did I say? Oh, her ashes were cremated. We used them for barbecuing the chicken. So I made a funeral video for P. Diddy, that he's singing funeral music now. Yes, you could be my black slave on my YouTube channel. I just don't have any money to pay you anything at all. I'm not making any money. And the thing is, it's like, even in the past, I did everything by myself because I don't have money to pay people. And it's like the way the other people worked, I don't know how they did things. I was never part of a network. And so, it's like, so I, I don't know how that works. And so, I don't know what you would do to help me unless you share things. If you want to share things, you're more than welcome to share things on my, from my YouTube channel. Um, I don't need money, superior white goddess. Just put me down. Treat me like a real black slave. That's not something I'm comfortable doing. I wouldn't, it's like I don't even begin to know what doing something to a person like that is. It's like it's not in my nature to treat a person poorly um, that. You know, I mean, I don't have a plantation house, but you know what? If I did have a plantation house, um, I bet a lot of people could probably live in it. But if I don't have a plantation house to house people in. I mean, if I had a plantation house, I would let people stay there probably for free. And that would be my downfall. Because if I let people stay for free who need a place to live, then everybody wants to come to that place because, oh, that's a good analogy. So, yeah, if you offer a place for free for people to live, then everybody wants to come there and live for free, right? That's a good analogy. I mean, that seems to be holding true with some things that are taking place here in the United States right now. So if you offer a bunch of free stuff, then everybody else wants to come and get it for free too. And then the people who it was really intended for don't get what was there for them to get for free. Why, thank you so much, Black Slave Eddie, for respecting me. Thank you. I appreciate that. This will be kind of fun to do with the photo to video because YouTube has the photo to video. I'm trying to capture in some of these snakes, but the snakes are I'm making them kind of big, bigger than what they really need to be. But, the pencils seem to have some wax in them a little bit. And, having the wax in them kind of makes it hard. Sometimes it's hard to draw. But, I mean, we're getting there. I wanted to draw on the background, too. I wanted to shade a little bit on the background. It's kind of nice to come across people. Thank you, Black Slave Eddie, for being nice. That's... I'm your black slave, of course. I respect you, beautiful. It's just nice to not have someone being antagonistic for whatever reason. And, it's like, I like talking about real life issues too. I know that what we're doing on YouTube, people hate it. It's very hated right now. And, so, I mean, all content creators are in the same boat when it comes down to what's going on. And it's like the more antagonistic that others are, they make it harder on themselves too. I don't know if they see that or not, when they do the antagonism, because it's like, well, just look at the legacy media TV. And then even, the direction that my brain goes is, well, I look at Fox News, they're antagonistic too, so, I don't trust any of them because I know the things that they say is not real. And so when they do the gloating and stuff like that, they're the ones getting paid all this money, but yet at the same time, it's like, well, they seem to forget about YouTube. It's like, YouTube is really no different from what they're doing now. YouTube actually has the lion's share of the eyeballs right now. YouTube has more views than legacy media. I'm your black slave. Of course, I respect you. I'm happy you own me. I don't own you. If you had a plantation, I would love to live on it and do all your work for free. Plantation. Well, you can just call me Scarlet. And you can watch, you know what? You can call me Scarlet and think of me as being married to Rhett Butler. To Rhett Butler. I'm married to Rhett Butler, and you can be jealous of watching me and Rhett Butler together. I mean, me and Rhett Butler is having this torrid love affair. I don't think Scarlett was ever. Oh, but Rhett was kind of mean though to Scarlett. If I remember correctly, wasn't he? I was thinking that Rhett was kind of mean to Scarlett, and didn't he hit her? I think he did, and I kind of forgot about that. That Rhett was physically abusive to Scarlett, if I remember. Oh, you'll just be happy to be my black slave. Okay. Um, I don't know what that's going to do because I don't have anything my own self. I really don't. And so um, I don't know how you would be a slave because I don't have anything my own self. So I'm just making content, but I'm just doing things based off of what I remember from the past, a past life. Let's call it a past life YouTube channel. That's probably a good name for it, a past life YouTube channel. Um, and another thing I don't like these First Amendment auditors. Um, I don't know who they are because, okay, some of them are okay. Some are okay, but some of them get completely ridiculous with the police. I mean, they get completely nonsensical and ridiculous with what they're doing. And, I don't know. That's one of the guys I was watching yesterday, the guy that had like 600,000. He's like, "You're not going to come here on my channel and tell me what to do." And it's like, well, YouTube will. YouTube has the authority and the power, and they have been investing it in their self related to, okay, if you say these certain words, you get kicked out of the algorithm. Well, maybe it's not necessarily the words, because what I'm finding, it is the words, but one topic only is the problem. One topic only is the problem. And so content creators, the thing I think about is like, well, maybe I indirectly participated with a network type of entity indirectly when I was teaching crochet, because crochet in and of itself becomes a network. I can be you, superior white goddess, light star. I said I can be your. Is there a song? Let me look and see if there's a song, because you know what? If there's a song called Black Slave, I am going to poke the hell fun out of it, probably. If there's a song called Black Slave, let me look and see. I have a feeling there is. Why do I have a feeling there's a song called Black Slave? Let's look up here and see who sings it. Black Slave. A slave song. Oh, Black Slave movies based on true stories. Black Slave. Let's do song YouTube. Song YouTube. YOUTUBE. Black. Uh, okay, who is this? The old. Okay, Doretha Warwick. Old Negro spiritual and slave songs. Louis Armstrong. Louis Armstrong. Oh, that's what came up. Is that what you wanted to hear? Stand Up, official lyrics performed by Cynthia Avirvo, focus features. Then we've got the personal loans guy advertising something. 12 years a slave cotton field song. That's got 2.2 million views. Songs of slavery, work songs, and spirituals. You know what I find so funny though about these railroad tracks being built, because there's pictures of black people building railroad tracks, and so they're all together. They got pictures, and there's white people who got pictures all together of building the railroad tracks. So both actually, I believe, were paid by the Civilian Conservation Corps, even though they were separated. But I have a question though. I want you guys to think about this. Let me ask you this. Oh my gosh, this is what I'm not going to say. 12 years a slave, run, word I'm not going to say, run, song. But think about this. Let me ask you this. So you come to a country and you're from another country. You're migrating from another country. And so you've got people coming from countries. They're mad. They are angry, very angry, because something's going on in their country. They're being displaced, and there's wars that are going on in their country. They have to go to another country, and they're mad. So, but they don't realize that there's a bunch of people that the same thing's happening to. They don't know that. They just don't know that. So a bunch of people leave certain regions and they end up in another place. Let me ask you this. Doesn't it make sense that you would put people together who actually get along? So you would have less discourse in your new country that you're trying to form by putting people together, which is segregation. It is segregation. But doesn't it make sense that you would want to do that so you have less fighting among your people, as opposed to just putting a bunch of people from different countries together who don't understand each other? They're actually traumatized. Every last one of them is traumatized. So doesn't it make sense that you would put people together and purposely segregate them to try to keep the peace? Doesn't that make sense a little bit? If you ever want to no, I'm not going to call you that. I am not going to call you that word. If you can, I'm your black slave, beautiful, you're my boss, superior white goddess, love you. No, I'm not going to call you that word. That would be weird, especially for me to call a white guy that word too, if you're a white guy. I don't know if you are, or if you're a Mexican guy or what. I really don't care. I mean, it's like, I have been through this. I have been through this rigmarole before. I mean, the United States military actually, maybe some of what they do, I mean, I don't know. I was talking to a guy about this yesterday on another YouTube channel, and it was so strange because I'm black, that's me in the picture, superior white goddess. Okay, let me go over here and see. Wait a second. How do I... Oh. Wait a second. Okay, go to channel. Okay. That might be you. I don't know if it is or not. You just made your channel not too long ago. Wait a minute. Yeah, well, yeah, but you've been chatting with me before you made your channel, so you've got more than one channel of you? That's strange. So you're being mirrored. Someone else is mimicking you? That's what I'm thinking, because I've been chatting with you, You've got more than one channel. That's not you. That's not you. You guys are cloning. YouTube does clones. Oh, you've got 3 profiles. Oh, you've got 3 profile pictures of yourself. So you're doing the thing like Kenny Chesney does. Now, I already know this for a fact. Now, at the time that I was losing my, well, I didn't lose it. I purposely deleted it. My original YouTube channel that I had, I was getting text messages from Kenny Chesney, of all people, from his staff, from his crew and his staff. And it's like, why in the world am I getting phone text messages from Kenny Chesney's staff? Why in the world is that happening? Um, and come to find out, what was happening is that all of his staff, what they did was they all had cell phones. They all created social media profiles and YouTube channels in the name of Kenny Chesney, and they put up his picture on every last one of them. Kenny Chesney, Kenny Chesney, Kenny Chesney. His staff was doing it, and they were promoting his music. So that's how they do it. So and that's like there was a several channels. I don't know how the rest, I don't know how they do it. They have some access to things where they can actually, to me it seems like they place other YouTube channels into another YouTube channel. Somehow they rotate the channels around because they switch so quickly. So there's something they're using in a, it's like they're using a URL or something. And so they can switch YouTube channels into that URL that they're calling a channel or something like that. Or that's what I'm seeing. Because then it's like when I go to look at what I was watching and the channel, it's like, wait a minute, this is not the channel that I subscribe to. So somehow someone has the ability to use a URL and then switch multiple YouTube channels inside of the URL. That's what I'm seeing. If I can think it, I believe that it's being done and can be done. Yes, superior white goddess, I would never do that to you. I love white women. That's why I want to be your black slave. No woman wants a slave. I don't know, but I'm hoping that you're singing from a song or something like that. I just don't like the idea of being respectful. The N-word is not something that is that important for me to use. It really isn't. It was a source of contention between myself and my ex-husband because of the fact that he's like, oh, if you say it around the wrong person, that's the part that was ironic to me. He said, if you say it around the wrong person, they're liable to hit you. And then I think it was within 2 hours of him saying that to me, he was hitting me. And so it was just like he decided he was going to get offended for, I don't know what crawled up his ass and died. Something crawled up his ass and died around the time of the insurrection. And he just was going to bully me into nothing. And that's pretty much what he did, with him being favored with, thinking that he can do the things that he did. And, it's like, well, and I've said that on the internet, they make it really a whole lot harder for black folks. I can't even get through the court system to get help that I need right now. I need to do a contempt of court, and I'm having a hard time. I need to do a contempt of court on my ex-husband, and I can't even get through to do that stuff. That's not something I'm really interested in. I'm hoping that you're a Chat GPT or Gemini. That's what I'm wondering. I'm hoping that you are Chat GPT or Gemini. Now, you know what's going to happen? I'll tell you this right now. there's going to be people who will, you know, for me, I just see you as doing what you do. You're promoting your music. You're an artist on the internet. I get that. I get that. You know, it's your First Amendment. That's why the government. Oh, this is a discovery. Someone asked last night on this other guy. I have to give this other guy a shout out. Let me see if I can find him. Because he is so genuine to let the rest of us say things on his channel. Where is he? I have to give him a shout out because, oh, here he is. PNW TV. PNW TV. Oh, he finished 3 minutes ago. It says, hell no. PNW TV. He lets us say things. And so, someone was asking on a stream last night, they said, why does the government, or not government, they said, why do people want to use the word pedophiles and rapists? And or they said, why are those words being used? And so in these protesting outside of the federal installations, the word pedophile and rapists is being used all the time. Along with the, you know, they're not questioning the usage of the word, the F word. We aren't hearing the N word in any of these protests at all. There's not people saying that at any of these protests we're hearing on the streams on YouTube. That's related to the federal installations. I mean, it would look kind of, I have heard a little bit of it maybe. Yes, I have. I have in live streams. Yes, I have. I take that back. I've heard both white people and black people using the N word. But what I said is these words are symbolic of the First Amendment. That's what they're symbolic of. So they were asking, how come people, what can you do alive about me and show my picture as your black slave, beautiful, superior white goddess, I respect you. What can I do? I don't know. I don't know. I could, you know what? I know absolutely what I could do. I can make there's two things. There's a black hole and a white hole on YouTube. That's what I'm going to call it. The black hole, the white hole. We can go down the different holes, but let's just hear me out on this. The black hole and the white hole. So the black hole slave, the black hole slave with artificial intelligence, that's something I can do with AI. And I can do the white hole. And we can go through the whole color of the rainbows with AI. The whole, we can have a green hole, a purple hole, an orange hole, a pink hole. We can go through every color of the rainbow and every other color that's been made up to come up with the slaves. We can have a purple slave on the internet. We can have anything we want on the internet as far as that goes. If you want to be a purple slave or a dark hole. Can you show my picture on... You want me to show, I could, okay, let me see here. How am I going to do this? I've got to shut, hang on, let me see here. You want me to show your picture? Yeah, hang on here. Let me see here. You want me to show your picture, and I'll do that because I know you guys are testing me out to see if I'm a real human being. Go to channel. Okay. Okay. Hang on a second. I gotta shut this off. Okay, let's see if I can do this without making too big of a mess of things. Okay. Okay, there he is. He really doesn't look black to me, though. He doesn't look black, but, so, He could be an AI guy as far as that goes. I mean, you guys have so many. What happened here? Uh-oh. I come in. Um, well, this is. I come in with a different orientation. Orientation is messed up. Okay, let's see if we can't get orientation fixed. Okay, orientation. Can we get you back to... Okay, good. Hopefully stay at landscape. Okay, let's see if we can get you back in there. Okay. Okay, you're back in there again. Okay, so let me go back here and see what Eddie has to say. Okay, so you can just leave my picture up for the whole... Well, no, I'm not going to put your picture up for the whole stream. I just showed you your picture. You wanted to see it. And I'm not putting your picture in there, no. I think you'll scare people away, is what you'll do. Because nobody wants to... I'm not putting my picture in. I have a picture in. The star is me. And so I don't want to put someone else's picture in because I'm not going to do that. Okay, let's see here. Now I'm going to... Okay, this is what I need to do with my background. So we're going to try to make it a little bit... we're going to try to make it a little bit like this. A little bit like that. I kind of like my thing. It's not, you know, it's not, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for. I was supposed to be making it kind of look like curtains back here, but I'm not doing a very good job. I was supposed to sort of be making it look like curtains a little bit. See if we can't get a little bit of curtainy thing going on here. And I had a floor here too that I was sort of working on. Kind of a floor. Okay, so let's see here what, okay, can you do it for 5 pictures, just for 5 minutes? I want people to know I want to be your black slave superior. No, I'm not going to do it. No. No, I'm not going to do it. No. Nope. Not going to do it. Do you want to pay me? You can pay me. Let's see. You got a lot, like maybe $5,000. You could pay me $5,000 to put your picture in. Have you got some? Are you loaded with cash like that, Eddie? Are you loaded? Because you could pay me like $5,000 to put your picture in. I think YouTube would let us do that because they said that we can, they said we can't literally sell parts of the site, but there's things that we can do. Now, I don't know, I might get in trouble for that, though, if I did that, though, because that would be kind of like, maybe it would be using the site in a wrong way if someone paid me $5,000 to put their picture in for 5 minutes. I know they do it on TV. You just want people to see you? Well, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. I can put pictures, I can put different pictures in, but I'm not going to do that, though. I know I had, oh, you respect me. He says, I respect you, superior white goddess. Oh my goodness. Well, whatever they did, I mean, it's coming out more and more now. That the FBI had something to do with January 6th. They said there was 274 FBI agents at January 6th. So they were part of the insurrection. They were part of the troublemakers of things that was going on. And so I don't know how that plays out. And now the government, the federal government did meddle within our YouTube channels and things on the internet. And related to us losing our business and things like that. And then the people who called the police on me meddled in my YouTube business related to me being sustainable for my own self and being able to get a place to live. But yet at the same time, then they favored my ex-husband. And it's like, I don't know why they did that. There's just things I'm just not going to be interested in doing again. I'll make some goofy content on the internet, and the things I do is just jokes and memes and having fun right now. I'm not going down that path of going with that headache again related to vlogging. I mean, that is done. And it's so funny. It's like, well, there's people from there was family vloggers from the Mormons and things like that out in Utah and Los Angeles area and Phoenix. They never had the police called on them related to doxing. So why was it me? That's the thing I always wondered. Why was it me specifically? What was it, and why? Why was it specifically just some of us who were kind of small, low life channels that were targeted um, we were outside of networks, I mean, we were outside of networks. We weren't part of anything. We were just adapter YouTubers, and there was people who were mad. The network people were mad, it seemed like, the multi-channel networks, that we weren't making content that, well, they wanted to collect us as part of their network. But it's like, if we did that, then they owned our content. And it's like, I didn't want to be owned. I didn't want to make content that was owned by someone else. And so what happens with that then is that they own it. They own it. It's just like now thankfully YouTube did say, when we make the shorts, because shorts are at risk. At any time, shorts are at risk for going private, but they are doing the fair use thing, the fair use and public domain and things like that. They said we do get to keep our views. So if something in shorts ends up, if someone decides, oh, well, we're not going to leave this public anymore, at least we get to keep our views. And at one time, YouTube was saying that they were taking views away, which that didn't make any sense. I know they did with private, that they took views away and things like that. It's like, but right now on mine, in order for me to get monetized, I have to have like 10 million shorts, 10 million shorts. And it's like, when I look at my watch time and my hours and stuff like that, it's going to take me forever to get monetized. I don't even know how I'm going to do it. I know there's other people who say they're getting monetized pretty fast, but for me, I don't know how I'm going to do it, because it's like it just looks to be a really high thing, and it's like, I'm not joining a network. I don't want to join a network or be part of a network. I don't want it. I don't want that headache. I just don't, and I'm not going to do it. Okay, here. So, I didn't realize that entertainment was, the thing I always heard, though, that the entertainers, they did say that when they were trying talked to some of their producers about things they wanted to do, they did say that they would whittle them down to nothing. So they said if they had an idea or something, that they really didn't want to do it. And so they were stuck in a script. I mean, I see right now why they were stuck in a script. I don't know if they knew that the internet was coming up or what. But yeah, stuck in a script then just has them stuck in a script related to scripted news and scripted weather. Scripted weather is, and I noticed today the volcanoes came back up, of all things. Kilauea volcano came back up again. So it must be heavy in the news. So I'm going to have to look and see what's going on with Kilauea volcano. It must be a slow news day or something. That's what I was thinking. It must be a slow news day. For the volcano to come back up, and because the volcano, Kilauea volcano, is erupting every day. So why all of a sudden does Kilauea volcano come up? But it does. But it's erupting every day, isn't it? Did it have like an earthquake larger than what it had before? I don't know. I have no idea. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. What did we do here? I'm trying to make some, let's see, is it making, yeah, it's supposed to be kind of sparkly curtains here. Okay, let's see what he wrote. I love being your YouTube black slave, superior white goddess, love you. What is this? Amazing Grace, the history of the slave scale. Call and response work song, prison song, 1966. Oh my goodness, that looks like something that was made. Oh, Swing This Music 8 years ago. 342K. Call and response. Yeah, but I'm not going to stay up all night. Some of these people, they stay up all night, trying to get watch hours and things like that. I can't do that. That's just not something that, I'm going to do. That's too much work to get views. I know, I know when I did my original YouTube channel, we didn't have watch time hours even to get monetized. We just got monetized. That was before watch time hours was a thing. And, so, and we were making content that people actually wanted to watch at that time, which included the funny stuff, the brain rot and stuff like that. And, but I just didn't envision what's happening and going on right now, nor did I envision, another gig economy coming up, which is Amazon and, what else? Amazon and Uber Eats and all the other rest of the gig economy. But you know what? This is what I think, guys. This is what I think about. The gig economy is nothing but self-employment. So it's just gig economy is just another word for self-employment. That's all it is. And I know there's other people who use the word, what is the word they use? It slipped my mind now. Freelance. Yeah, freelance is just another word for self-employment too. So there's a whole bunch of words for self-employment that mean the same thing. They really do. They just mean the same thing because some people just get stuck on, well, I'm a freelance artist. It's like, well, yeah, freelance artist is just like a freelance pharmacist who goes to the pharmaceutical doctors knocking on the door and saying, will you recommend my pill to your patients? That's the same thing, so and they say, a lot of them have said that the the pharmaceutical salespeople selling their pills and things like that. They said the doctors and the nurses don't like to see those people when they come inside their offices. They said they get really upset, because it's like, oh no, another pill that they got for us to look at and sell, and then there's going to be happy, really, it would be so funny. I don't know if they could do this or not. It would be so funny to do a flash mob into some pharmacy doctor's office of dancing happy people with some pharmacist who's going around selling his pills and stuff to doctors. And they're dancing like the opera commercials of the happy pills that they have and things like that on TV that they show all the time. The happy people dancing because they took their pills and now they no longer have I will always respect you, superior white goddess. And they have their happy pills. I mean, everybody thinks that's funny, and especially even the ones where they have the people on the bus about, I have a structured settlement and I need cash now. I know my place as a black man. I'm nothing but a black slave. I'm the dirt under your shoe, superior white goddess. Love you, superior one. I am far from a superior white goddess. I can tell you that right now. I am far from that. That has never been... if I was a superior white goddess, I would be president of the United States right now. I can tell you that. If I was a superior white goddess, I would be a princess I would be married to a king if I was superior. I would be married to someone who actually cares about me and who's taking care of me if I was superior. But I'm not any of those things. I wouldn't be in this situation that I'm in now if I was superior. So, I don't know, like the word superior, don't we have a superior court system? I'm pretty sure we do. In many jurisdictions, there's a superior court system, whatever that is. And I know I've seen judges vacate the chair for some reasons. They vacate the chair. I think they do that. I think the judges... I got the distinct idea that a judge vacates the chair related to something that they do not want to take on as a judge, which might be the First Amendment. That they can't do that and they're not going to do that, so I get the distinct idea related to... I could be wrong though, because I've never been a judge, I've never been a lawyer, I've never been any of the things that would get me barred as a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer, I'm telling you that right now. I am not. I've never had anything to do with a lawyer other than... would you ever marry your black slave? Beautiful. No. No. I would sleep in a cage and want you to beat me with a whip every day so I could fear you. Superior white goddess. I can't believe you're saying this. I can't believe I'm reading it either. But I'm going to. I'm going to because I believe in the First Amendment. That's why I'm reading it. But I can't... But you make me laugh when I read it, though. I would sleep in a cage and want you to beat me with a whip every day so I could fear you, superior white goddess. That's no way to live, though. That's no way to live. That's actually human trafficking. Why would you want me to do that? I mean... Now, if you were saying it tongue-in-cheek that you wanted someone to beat you with a ramen noodle, I mean, that might be funny. I mean, now Howard Stern, though, he got in trouble, though, for well, when I was watching that other guy last night, he said that Howard Stern had to back off from the things he was doing. He was getting in trouble from the FCC, I guess. So when he had the women on his radio station, so I know in that time frame I had gone to Germany, and I loved watching Howard Stern and ETV, even though I knew it was bad and it was derogatory towards women. I thought it was funny though when he put mayonnaise on their butts and he was throwing cheese and bologna and bread in their butts. It was funny. That's when he was funny. And then they said, no, he can't do that stuff. So the FCC made Howard Stern less funny and less famous. I want you to, I don't care. I want you to beat me with a whip. I love you, superior white guys. I'm not going to do that. That's not something I'm going to do. Nope. That's not something I'm going to do. Okay, this is looking more and more like curtains, isn't it? It really is. A little bit here. And that's kind of what I wanted, was this to look like, kind of like curtains. And oh my gosh, this is going to be fun. Now, Gemini helped me out with this a little bit. I'm just happy to be your black slave, beautiful. My black slave. I never knew that I had a black slave. I didn't. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Could the sheriff be a black slave, maybe? I mean, the sheriff. A sheriff? I know a lot of the sheriffs and the Secret Service, they ride around in black cars. The sheriff and the Secret Service. Yeah, they might be maybe it's a sheriff. Are you a sheriff? Black slave Eddie, are you a sheriff of some sort? Possibly? I don't know. Okay. Well, it looks pretty cool. I feel like I need it to pop out a little bit more. But I don't know, it's kind of transparent though, so it sort of blends in. Let me see here. No superior white goddess. I'm just a regular person, queen. It's too bad you weren't Jack. But I confessed everything I was going to confess, and I'm done with that. I'm done with that because it's going to be, it could have been used against me, but it's not anymore. You know, so the thing is, it's like Jack probably ended up getting, he probably ended up getting me someone he didn't want. I'm okay with being a white woman, black slave, superior white goddess, love you, beautiful. You're okay with... Now, I'm not interested in a white woman as far as that goes, if that's what you are behind the... Oh, you're a white woman? See, that's how it always goes. Now, see, the AI I have been using doesn't actually do this. I'm not getting any of that from ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok telling me that it's a white woman. No, you're a black superior white goddess. Oh, you are a black superior white goddess. I want to be a white woman. Oh, now you want to be a white woman? Wait a minute. That's really strange. You want to have the change? You want to have the surgery change to become a white woman, and you want to chop your, well, there was a guy who used the terminology of his doolally. You want to chop your doolally off and become a white woman? Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to defile yourself in such a way? I mean, um, you know, it's like, why would you want to do that to yourself? Can you explain that to me? Why would you want to? I mean, because I don't know if you believe in God or not. Some people do, some people don't. But you were made on this planet. Okay. So I'm trying to look at it from both directions here. So you are made on this planet as you are. And so you should be how you are. So were you influenced, Black Slave Eddie, to feel like you want to be a white woman now? Is that what I'm hearing? I don't know. So you want to be a white woman. I mean, I mean, what? No, you just want to be a black slave. Oh, a black slave as a white woman? Or you just want to be a black slave white woman? I'm confused. Um, I am so confused here over this conversation. Is anybody else as confused as I am? Um, wait a minute. Okay, we don't want to do that too much here. Okay, I think that is looking okay. So no, I am not gay. I just want to be a black slave. Okay. You want to be a black slave. Well, I mean, you could do something if you want to be a black slave, you could do something and like go live at the county jail. If you wanted to do that, you could go live at the county jail. I think they'll let you in. I'm not going to suggest anything else. I mean, but they'll let you be a black slave at the county jail, the county or federal. It just depends on what it is. I mean, but they don't just take walk-ins though. You can't just go walk into the county jail and say, "I need a place to live." They won't let you. Have to do something wrong in order to get a place to live at the county jail. So if you want a free night at the county jail. Now, if you have personal belongings though, you might end up losing your personal belongings. So I would advise that with caution because of the fact that if you want a free shelter to spend the night there, or an excessive amount of time, you'd have to do something really, really wrong. And like, do you want to go down that path just for a place to live? I don't think that that's a good idea, but I know some of you will do that for a place to live. And my taxpayer dollars are paying for you to have a free place to live at the county jail while the rest of us are homeless. I mean, that talk about a lopsided system right there. It's like, well, if people at the county jail get a free place to live, shouldn't the rest of us get a free place to live? I mean, I mean, because this is a lose-lose situation that we're going down right now with this path because of the fact it's like, okay, I'm arguing the fact that I'm homeless and you're housing people at the jail. Well, but at the same time, it's like, well, you don't want criminals out, but it's like, well, the rest of us can't get a place to live. I only want to be your black slave. That's what he said. Okay, we need to put a little bit more light in here. Okay, you got a little bit of orange around here, around your face here, like this. A little bit of, yeah, that works out there. Okay, I think we might be getting the sparkly glitter things showing up here. Maybe, I think doing some of this is getting some of the glittery sparklies showing up a little bit. Let's see how that looks. That looks pretty good. It might be hard to see from far away, but the premise of the ghost comes across pretty good there. And the let's do this. Let's put a little bit. Let's see if we can't make this look a little bit. Oh, yes. Light. We got a little bit of light here. That works out. Yeah, the orange, a little bit of orange, that makes light. We got a little big pile of light down there. That's kind of a reflection there on our tiles. And so, oh, I guess this sort of fits in with my church bus too, which is kind of funny. But church bus, purple church bus is always, you know, how church always uses purple to depict things. I remember when I was a kid, the pastor always picked out their, they had their, oh, what do you call it? Their sash. And so sometimes they would have like a red sash or a green sash and a purple sash. I don't think he had yellow. I don't ever remember him wearing yellow or orange at all. Typically it was red, green, purple, and maybe a tan color. Something like that. And he was always commenting about the color of his sash that he wore with his white robe. I'm kind of glad they've stopped wearing their white robes. You know, because it seemed, it really seemed, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It seemed kind of, going down that path of what people say. I want you to own me, White Goddess. You should have a plantation. I would love on it until I die. You would love on the plantation? Um, I don't have anything. I have absolutely nothing. So I can't own anybody, and I sure wouldn't own anybody if I did have a plantation. I wouldn't buy a person. I wouldn't do that. But you know, now the thing I think about the analogy that I make related to the internet and people in the entertainment industry, technically you guys are buying and selling each other. You are. You know, I've said that. So when you put yourself up for bid to do jobs, you are auctioning yourselves off. So when you put yourself onto the internet, into the Fiverr places, you are auctioning yourself off as a slave. As a slave to do something for a lower price. I don't know that it's helping or making any impact on the corporations because the corporations just take advantage of it. They take advantage of it and then they get their task done and you get less money and then The corporations still bring in the big loads of money. Um, does that make any sense? I hope it does, because technically you are selling yourself when you do that. You're actually auctioning your own self. When you put yourself on Fiverr, you're auctioning yourself to do things. And you know what? Oh my gosh, you're auctioning yourself when you do Uber and Lyft Eats too. You guys are auctioning yourselves to lower prices. Now, there are people who are trying to auction themselves for higher prices, which is, we want minimum wage at $25 an hour. Well, yeah, you guys can holler about it. You can holler and scream about it all you want to. However, I, it's like the more money you ask for, then the corporations, they fire people and they bring in automated cash registers to replace other people. And, eventually you could be in that situation one day, because people are not, it's unusual for a person to have been in their, nowadays what they're saying, it's very unusual for a person to have been in their job for 30 years now. They said that's just unheard of anymore. Do you think black people should still be black slaves? I would be your black slave, beautiful. No, I don't, but I don't. Um, are you asking me as myself, or if I was Donald Trump? I mean, if you want to go down the Trump path, um, um, but I don't speak for Donald Trump, though. Now, if I was, King Charles, let's, I want to go down the path from, let's go down the path from 2,000 years ago. If Donald Trump and King Charles were alive 2,000 years ago. Um, Now myself, if I was in the movie Gone with the Wind as a female, I have that understanding of what's being done is wrong, and I don't like to see people being harmed. So I would love to be your black slave. I'd do anything for you. um, Are we talking about the White House plantation or the governor's mansion plantation? Because you know what? They all look like plantation houses. Haven't you noticed that every last one of them, they look like plantation houses? And I've made analogies of that before in the past, saying that governor's mansions, most of them look like plantations, and the White House especially does look like a plantation. So if you want to say that the White House looks like a plantation, and that the current leader living in it is a plantation owner, you are welcome to have that thought process. I mean, I get what you're doing, and you're welcome to have that thought process. I'm okay with being your black slave superior white goddess, but I'm not president, though. I mean, the chances of me ever being president, or even a woman, I used to think was, at one time I wasn't even thinking of that women were being discriminated of sorts, I mean, because right now there's a lot of men even on YouTube, and they'll say, oh, well, women have access to do the same things, and we hear that out of politics. Well, you have access to medical. Now they're not, what they're not saying though is that there's a big difference between having access to something and actually achieving it. So access to is their politically correct way of, I'm not going to do anything about it. I really don't care about you. When someone says, "Oh, you have access," it's like, okay, well, I mean, the president, maybe he should be told, "Well, you have access to a house, but until you solve the problem of poverty, you're not going to live in the house." I just want a white woman to own me. I love white women. Oh, well, I don't have anything. I can't. I wouldn't buy a man, and even if I had a place to live, I wouldn't buy a man. That's not something I'm interested in. Um, why would I need to buy a man? I mean, I can, because, you know, the thing I'm thinking of, it's like, well, I don't have anything that I need done. I don't even have a place to live. So I can't do any of that stuff that you're asking for anyway when I'm homeless and I don't have a place to live. Um, you know, and it's like I'm always met with pushback on the internet. You know, maybe I just need to stay out of the short. I like the shorts feed, and you know, but it's like a lot of the stuff is just the same thing over and over again, unfortunately. And um, you know, people are seeking real conversations with people, not just canned answers and responses. You know, people want real conversations. Okay, so let's see here. He's just saying the same thing over and over again. I wish I could get one that says, um, that actually supports my artwork or something like that. Um, I don't know. That pushes out my content from my YouTube channel. That would be great. I mean, it was nice when I had my post office box. The thing Algonif on my that video took off. That video did pretty good for I don't know what set it off, but something did. Something set that one off. That was kind of fun. A short little I don't even think I had a video take off like that on my first YouTube channel. I don't think I did. I have. So that was kind of fun to have a video take off like that. Because my first YouTube channel, it was all just gradual, and then it's like within one day, next thing you know, one video had over 1 million views, and then another video had over 1 million views, and it's like, I mean, I had a lot of views, but then I learned this is the bad news. Then I learned that you can have millions of views and thousands of subscribers and not be making any money at all. And that's the sad part. It's the truth, but it's the sad part. But it's the truth. Now, if you want to hear the truth, we'll talk about the truth. I'm not going to lie to you on that because I have showed that I'm not monetized, and I'm not monetized. That's the only way that Google makes money is if we get monetized. Otherwise, Google makes no money, and then they're poor. And then Google can't do things, and then the internet gets broken. You know what? I was just thinking, the robot being broken yesterday with the URL, that is what that depicts. Is that when people are so adamant of, oh, well, I just want to be on YouTube and I don't want to earn revenue and we don't like revenue and blah, 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 all this, you know, and I don't know where that comes out of. It's got to come out of the FBI. That's what I'm thinking. It's like, okay, that's great. That's great that the FBI, each agent makes $200,000 a year and they don't want to be monetized. That's great for them. But what about the rest of us? That's great that you guys are the government and you're paying yourselves these highfalutin salaries and jobs. That is great. You're wasting taxpayer money in such a way. But what about the rest of us who need an income to survive? Remember, I said I would eat. Oh, that's gross. That's gross. Black slave Eddie, that's disgusting. I actually hope that your AI that's writing this, because I know Chat GPT and Gemini can say some off the wall stuff. Oh, Grok especially. Well, yeah, that's gross. I would eat your shit, beautiful. Sorry. Okay, so you just wanted to say you would eat my shit. I don't know why. That's gross, but are you a maggot? A fly maggot? Because I think only a maggot would do that. That's gross, but, you know, but there you said it. I know you guys need a place to say your First Amendment stuff. Oh, we need to, wait a minute. Okay, we gotta get you through here somehow. The hand is kind of bluish. Combination of blue and purple here. Okay. Okay, that's a little bit better. Tell you what, Jenny the Hello Kitty. Oh, Eddie is the one who said that, Jenny. And so Jenny, yes, you might be doing two accounts, I think. I think that's how the networks do it, is with the two accounts, because I see how they play that game all the time. Where is so-and-so? And I heard people say that the other day. They're like, stop asking about where so-and-so is, because we're tired of hearing about where so-and-so is. They're doing that on the White House chat too. It's like, well, where is Steer Pike? Steer Pike is not here anymore. But then they're actually who Steer Pike is, right? Yes, that is a nasty person. That's a very nasty person. Talking about eating poop. Why would they eat poop? Unless they're a worm or something like that. Um, I mean, worms eat poop. Oh, I like that. That looks kind of really cool. Like, and it is levitating. Um, oh, Black Slave Eddie is still here. He says, I don't care. I'm nasty. I would eat her shit. That's gross. That is disgusting. That's not the first time I've been told that by a black man. Um, it isn't. Would you let me eat your delicious poop? That is so gross. Are you a turd roller? What? Jenny, the Hello Kitty fan says, what? What? Nah. Oh, so Black Slave Eddie is talking to Jenny now. Okay, so Black Slave Eddie, you and Jenny can talk to each other while I color. And so maybe Jenny can be your white slave goddess. And you guys can just have a grand old conversation here every time I chat, every time I do make a live stream and on my other videos. You guys can have a big old grand conversation with each other. Um, um, I know it's a very bizarre conversation that we've got going on. Hello, Kitty. I know I remember when YouTube first started, there was a woman, um, She went by Purple Kitty. I always wonder what happened to people sometimes. Purple Kitty. I remember Purple Kitty. And she was kind of sad. She would vlog in the dark. Um, and so she would go to work and then vlog in the dark. Alrighty, I think I'm done here. What am I? Oh my gosh, I'm at 2 hours and 14 minutes. Would you ever let a man eat your shit, beautiful, superior white goddess? Love you. No. Nope. That's gross. That's gross. That sounds like something that comes out of that other industry. I don't know if it's a meme or joke stuff or what, but what the F you, my bad, says Jenny, the Hello Kitty fan. Oh my goodness. I had a little belch there. Okay, so I've got one more in my image. I would love to eat Starlight's shit. I would pay you $2,000, sexy burp queen. That's gross. There's just some things that I'm not going to do, and that's not something I'm going to do. that's not, that's just something I'm not going to do. I'm not going to go down that path. That's gross. And some of it I think would be, wouldn't you think it would be offensible that it would become like a know what don't you think that it would become offensible in the sense of that the police would get involved with stuff like that? I mean, aren't you guys concerned about that the police would be involved somehow? Or that it would become a crime? Well, that's what I'm wondering, is the crime aspect of having someone do something like that through the internet. I mean, you don't think that that would be a crime to be selling services like that? Oh, Jenny says yes. Yeah, Jenny says yes. I think Black Slave Eddie, we already know his answer. I think he just doesn't think that anything is a crime. But I think there's a lot of services through the internet. I wouldn't be surprised that people are selling that stuff. But I don't know, someone on YouTube is going to catch it and pick up on that stuff. But there's just a point where there's things that happen and it's like, it's out of my control. I can't, there's just things that's like, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to see it. I know they used to show that stuff back in the day, like when the internet was first coming on, when the internet first came on. I would eat your shit. I would eat your turd so fast I don't puke. That's gross. But I know this is the thing I was going to say, ban that person. The thing that I was going to say is that, The thing that I was going to say is that at the beginning of the internet, this is the stuff that we were getting served up, though. What Eddie is saying, I just wanted to say that. I mean, so should I ban him? He's just saying things. That doesn't necessarily mean that he would follow through with it. I would like to take the route of believing right now that he wouldn't follow through with that. I am her black slave. I love her. um, I don't see any reason to ban him. He's just saying words. And if he says words like that and it gets me some views and some watch time, why do I care? I don't ban me, beautiful. Love you. I'm not going to ban him. I thought about it for a second. And I thought, well, why should I? Everybody else, when they have trolls, um, the thing is they recognize that they get views from the trolls. And so Eddie is a troll. And so he's saying some really bizarre things, but if it gets out of hand, then I might have to do a timeout maybe. No, I'm not going to ban him. I have no reason to ban him. But it's unfortunate for me, though, trying to do something on the internet. So just because I talk about something related to what happened to me being in my marriage, that I have to deal with this. I shouldn't have to deal with this for the rest of my life. Because then basically what happens is it's saying that I have to censor myself with the internet if I don't want certain words and topics surfaced up to me. And basically then that's what people are saying. Oh, well, we don't want to hear from you. If you mention the word black, or you say, for example, if you say that your husband was black, then you get served up content, and because that's how the algorithm works. And if you don't like it, you can lump it, and so you need to shut the fuck up about it. That's what I'm hearing from people. And it's like, why should I have to be quiet about it? Then I don't want to hear about any of you guys' fucking ex-wives or your marriage counseling. I don't want to hear about your wife being an ex-crackhead or whatever you want to call her, even though she's not. I'm pretty positive that most of the men on YouTube who are saying their wife is a crackhead, that they probably weren't even ever married. They're so ugly, they've probably never even been married. That's what I'm thinking. I don't care if you talk about black people. I know I'm your black slave. Actually, you know what? Most of the time I forget about black people until someone mentions it in chat or something like that. I mean, I really don't know what a black people is, because of the fact that I see people as human beings who are a bunch of different colored people. Oh, Karen. Hello, Karen Smith. Wait a minute. Smith. Karen Smith. Jack Smith. Are you talking about Jack Smith? Yeah, because didn't he wear black a lot, Jack Smith? Jack would never do this to me, I don't think. The Jack that I knew, I don't think he would ever do this to me. Or I could be wrong. I don't think Jack would do this to me. This is more of like an FBI or federal government thing, if someone like that who's an asshole, who's just being an asshole to me. That's what I'm thinking. Someone just being an asshole who's doing this stuff to me. Because if you love someone, you don't do this kind of stuff to them. You don't make life harder for someone that you actually care about and that you love. I'll tell you that right now, Eddie. You don't. If you love someone, you don't make their life harder for them. You don't cause more trauma for them. If you truly love someone, you don't make their life harder for them. You got to go 67 4 years 13 13 The 13 is indentured servitude, the 13th Amendment. Um, you know what would be really cool is to work how could we work a tongue out of here? I want to do some kind of like a fire-breathing tongue of some sort. A I don't know if that will be depicted as a tongue or not, but it just looked like a good place to put some type of fire breathing something or another out of there. Um, you respect me. Yeah. Uh, I I I I actually question what respect is nowadays, because so many were like, oh, we don't believe in non-conditional love, unconditional love. That was the thing is, unconditional love doesn't exist. Well, the truth is it does exist. You guys don't know what unconditional love is. Unconditional love, I always said, is that of a mother to its baby, and then you just wanted to crap all over that, of what unconditional love is, and say unconditional love doesn't exist when it does exist. That there's a lot of women and a lot of parents who unconditionally love their kids, even though there's things we can't do. Show your friends my picture as your black slave. I don't have any friends. I don't have any friends, and I don't plan on showing anybody anything related to anything black. I'm just not interested in it. I mean, this is what I think of black, is a black ink pen. That's what I think of black. A black ink pen on the bottom of a shoe, a black little speck that's meaningless. It's something I'm just not interested in. And I use the word dark to kind of sway away from usage of the word black. I use dark and blue, navy dark, kind of to avoid. It's an avoidance thing, because I have trauma and PTSD related to usage of the word black and Black Lives Matter. And it's just, I mean, there's no purpose for it. It's just, I'm just not interested. Now when I made my little short, my P. Diddy video yesterday about P. Diddy and the funeral, it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm projecting something there. I could be. But I need to go. I'm done too. I've been on here long enough. 2 hours and 30 minutes. But that turned out cute, though. It turned out really cute. Little Halloween ghost there. I like that.